Shots, shots, shots.
Drink porn. Nom nom nom. Food porn.
Shots, shots, shots.
Hashtag dance floor.
Shots, shots, shots.
I loved getting to see this sneak peek into the quote-unquote best night ever. I wish that we could have this deep dive into everybody's social media profile when people are posting all their times of going out and about and living their best life, to see what is actually happening in this age of engrossing technology, where being in the moment really only means when the camera is turned on and when you're getting virtual likes and validation. I really liked the dissonance between the bright, shiny, happy shots of the virtual world as opposed to how the real world seemed bleak and drawn out. There was odd shadowing. And it made me overall just very much want to put my phone away. And it was uncomfortable that I was holding it while I was watching it. So overall, I thought it was a really cool piece with kind of a Black Mirror type style and genre to it.
They do a good job at showing us here something that I think by now most of us are at least somewhat familiar with or have heard of, and that's this, sort of fake impression that we get from each other on social media. This film just does a really good job at taking us into that and kind of playing fun a bit. And it's very artful and tastefully done, but it's sort of dark subject matter, and as you can see in the film, it turns that way really quickly, and I think the filmmakers just did a really good job at encapsulating all that and just showing it back to us, something again that I think most of us by now are aware of, but this film just does a really good job at showing us that in a nice little neat bite-size package.
I like how the editor rewound her birthday and the camera exposed it for what it really was. Her camera was the lie and the filmmaker's camera was the truth. Speaking of coding, the bar lobby was really color coordinated to the girl's dress code. Even when she met a boy, he was her polka dotted opposite.
A wonderfully performed film with really intentional creative choices that absolutely hit their mark. I thought it was a great and strong choice to have the hero's social media presence portrayed first, and then getting to see the behind the scenes afterwards was a really just great way to tell the story. Strong ending with the look right and the dialogue right to camera. Obviously, the film speaks to the disconnectedness and connectedness of people today and how fabricated and curated our social media presences can be. It was so heartbreaking to watch the hero genuinely try to connect with her so-called friends, but they were too far gone. She was then forced to connect with another stranger who unfortunately took advantage of her vulnerability. I think that I could talk about this film forever. There's so many different things to touch on, but I thought it was extremely well done. There was a lot of, like I said, very intentional choices, even from the wardrobe and the technical shots that were set up. It was 10 out of 10 for me.
I really liked this. I thought it was really dark, but not necessarily in a bad way. I thought it was the kind of dark that really tries to get a message across, which is what I think that they did, and they did pretty well, especially in this day and age with how much we rely on technology, even more so since I think the pandemic started. I think that all of those kind of, maybe not necessarily like at a bar, but I think that us using technology as a point of contact and connection between people has only increased since the different like pandemics and quarantines and lockdowns have happened. So I think that something like this is really interesting, and it kind of takes the concept of your virtual presence in different social medias and how you really curate what other people are seeing with those different sites. At least that's what the tendency is.
I thought the scariest overall element in the entire show was the overall setting itself, which is society with an assimilated culture. There is nothing festive about our party. The communication is completely indirect. The completely joyless bartender sort of represents society to me in that it's lacked professionalism and just basic emotion now. But there were some good laughs in it. I like Four Absolute Bitches. And Laura Hughes does a very good job in generating sympathy for her character, and nice job at twisting that leg for that rooftop shop.
I think the film was very real, and it addressed a lot of topics that, really affect people, I think specifically in my generation today. And yeah, for that, I really enjoyed this film.
Our obsessive attachment, of course, to our phones, to social media, etc., how that impacts our relationships with one another, and how it can even lead to, deadly results, as we see with the protagonist in this. And then, of course, we have a scene of an assault, which is always unsettling to watch, though it's done here. It's not made a spectacle out of, which is good to see too. We don't languish in her pain during that scene, which I think is always the better course to take when having to depict such content. But it really does a great job of exemplifying how we just get stuck in these modes, and it's up to us to get us out of them, or else it's just going to kind of be a limbo that we always live in, where we are perceived one way, let's say on our social media, on our online platform, but then in real life, that's not the real person that we're seeing. The person online is happy, the person in real life, not so much.